Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Super Califanalistic. Yesterday, or in the last episode, we talked about my backstory, or I talked about my backstory and told you like what led me to my current situation of trying to build a $1 million business from scratch without any outside funding or loans or giving away equity. If you didn't listen to that, go back and check it out so you know what I'm talking about. Today I want to talk a little bit about our current challenge, or actually what I want to talk about is how to phrase it best. That I Have you ever felt like you talked to somebody and you like told them something that you knew for a fact was true, but they still for some reason don't act on that or don't believe you. It's kind of like when you listen to these people who are convinced that the earth is flat and you're like, how stupid can you be? Yeah. um, why would anybody spend like billions of dollars to make you believe it's round if it in fact were flat? Yeah, just one of the points that speaks against it, um, besides all the other proof that there is anyway. I have a lot of those moments. It's like throughout all of my life, I've always been like, I don't know, a kind of like an all or nothing guy. I like to take risks. So like for example, when I decided to move to Asia, it was like most people wouldn't have done that. Yeah, like I mean, of course, it was like a flight reaction back then, like to get away from my problems, leave them behind, to catch a breath. Yeah, but still, most people wouldn't have done that, and it's with a lot of things. Like, or the example of that I also mentioned in yesterday's thing, um, that I had a well-paid job with almost no work in the end, but still got paid for it. And when I was offered to work like 50% for 50% of the money, which still would have been more than the average full-time salary, and I still would have only had to work maybe like a couple hours a week, if at all. And I decided to turn it down, where most people live in their like, I don't know, like fake security world of like believing their job is secure for them, and only a few are like actually trying to reason things out, to think things through logically. And it's really hard for me because I'm I want to like help as many people as I can to make their lives better, to like to become their own boss and simply decide for themselves how much money they make, which vacations they take, when they go on vacations. Um, it's one of the other things I simply never was able to like get along with when you are an employee, is that somebody else decides when you are allowed to go on vacation. Yes, you can apply, I want this and that week off, but they can simply say no. Um, and that's just like, again, brings me back to, for me it seems like it's some form of slavery. Yeah? And well, in our current situation, like while it's like really really great to have this overall plan. Of course, I'm also like everybody else. I also have my fears and my insecurities. I worry like, will, sometimes, not a lot of the times, but sometimes it's like, will this work, or will it not? So it's like really really um, hard to say, or not hard to say, but it's like, um, how do I phrase that best? It's even for people you see who are very successful, yeah, and where you wonder how can they get this shit done all the time, and how can they be so productive, and all those questions. And oh, I wish I could do that as well, or but blah blah blah. Even they also have their fears, their worries, their insecurities, but they try to reason them out, like, because I'm like, I strongly believe that if you worry, you suffer twice. Like if you worry about something, like for example, yesterday we launched our first ad campaigns for a website that's also promoting the One Funnel Away challenge that I'm currently in. And so we launched the ads, and till today there is only one guy who signed up for the email in which he will get the details of the challenge. And for me, it's like, of course, it's like, yeah, everybody thinks like, oh, I'm gonna push this button now and I'm gonna make millions, yeah. But for me, it's like I'm quite okay with it, but it still is like I would have hoped for more so far. But then I think about like if I start worrying now, like oh my god, this doesn't work, this doesn't work. If I lack the patience to see things through, to see like over a couple of days are the results from these ad campaigns, I would just like I would have spent a couple dollars. It doesn't work that fast. Click stop, create the next ad campaign, spend a couple dollars, and it would go like round and round and round, and all would happen. I would burn my money and I would lose like my belief in everything. And if you have the patience to reason things out, I come to the conclusion. Okay, like Facebook advertising needs a learning period, meaning they send like a lot of different traffic or show the ads to a lot of different people within your target audience to figure out which target audience or which part of your target audience actually reacts to that kind of advertising. And so it simply needs some time. It doesn't mean that you need to spend hundreds of dollars per day. You can do that with as little as $25 to figure out if an ad is working or not, but it still takes time. Yeah. So but let's get back to it. So like what I'm really like really like, I have a lot of friends, and most of my so I have some friends who are like business people, entrepreneurs, successful managers and stuff like that, with whom I have like the greatest conversations, because when I tell them something I get some feedback that either I didn't know, or they are really like grateful for me sharing something with them, which may give them an opportunity, may give them make life may be able to make life easier for them. Yeah. And well, for them it's like, for example, when I shared my experience with the one funnel away challenge with some of my self-employed friends, for them it's like, okay, I will sign up as well. Yeah, like if you say that it's really mind-blowing and it's just $100, okay, I mean my schedule is full, but I'm sure I can fit in the 1 or 2 hours a day it takes, and I will sign up as well. And when I talk to other friends of mine, for example, I have one of my friends, she's planning, or she always wanted to do some like online counseling, yeah, like counseling for people who just like don't have the right mindset and feel depressed and stuff like that. And she tried it once like years ago, but back then I helped her a little, but back then I lacked the knowledge on how to do it. I didn't know ClickFunnels and stuff like that and so on. And now I've been talking with her, and she's back like, or she's back in her home country. She used to travel a lot, and told me that she has one job now and she plans to get a second job and a third job to save money, to find an agency to pay them and whatever outrageous sum to create that stuff for her. And I told her, you know what, I just discovered this course and it's really mind blown, even for me, who has already 15 years of experience. It teaches things that are so simple, but yet nobody knows them in Europe. And it's just $100, and it would show you, even if you have no computer skills, how you can do all that shit on your own, or how to find cheap people, like not cheap, but you know, like affordable people who take care of the stuff that you cannot do, like whatever, creating your logo and your graphics and stuff like that. And so I provided her with an option that would save her working 3 jobs and then risking giving away all her money to one agency. But her response is like, oh no, maybe next year. Yeah. And I just cannot understand it. While I respect the decision, I honestly, it's everybody's responsible for his own life. While I respect the decision, yeah, like I just cannot understand it. Yeah. It's especially when I talk with a lot of my friends. So because I've like been doing this a lot, and most people only, you know, like see the highlight reel. They see my Instagram profile and they see me whatever driving a Ferrari, not my Ferrari, a rented one. Yeah. Because I always wanted to know how it is. Yeah. Or flying here, flying there, making vacations there, visiting this city, that city, blah blah blah. So they only see the highlights. Yeah. They don't see that, for example, on my last trip to Germany, where also some of those highlight moments were taken. It was like a trip out of necessity, because I needed to take care of some things, and it was just a week full of stress. It was like arriving in Germany in one city on Sunday, spending the Sunday and Monday there, driving on Tuesday 3 hours to some convention to meet with a potential business partner, spend the day walking around at the convention, driving back home, next day spending at the office of a client, next day driving 6 hours to another city to meet for dinner with my brother, From there at 9 p.m. continue driving to Austria to arrive there at 1 a.m. in the morning, sleep a couple of hours and stop by at my grandmother's house to pick up some documents that I had there, have lunch there, blah blah blah, drive back to Germany on the same day, yeah, and arrive there around 9 or 10 in the evening to meet for dinner with a friend of mine. Basically because I really really like seeing her, and she has like the right mindset, so we get along very well. But one of the additional reasons simply was, otherwise it would have been like an 8 hour drive back to the one city closer to the airport, and this way it was like only a 4 hour drive, and we could stop and I meet someone I like and we could stay at her place, which also saved us money for another hotel night. Yeah, I mean, it's like, every dollar you save, is theoretically a dollar earned. Not, it's not that true, but in that case it's like like saving $100 is a difference than saving a penny. Yeah, let's say it like that. Especially if you can do it without any downsides. So well, because I have my guest room there in their house, so it's still like basically beats any hotel because it's with people I like, and I don't have to sleep on a floor, on a couch or something. Anyway, yeah. So people only see that highlight reel, and for some reason, most of my friends or acquaintances, they simply know I'm this, or they believe, that I have this kind of, I don't know, superpower or something, that I'm that good with computers and I'm that good with that, and oh, you will make it and blah blah blah. And what they don't see is like I'm exactly like every other person. I may physically be not exactly the same, and like my knowledge at the moment may not be the same, but I wasn't born different. I wasn't like raised different. My parents also, before my mom at some point, and when I was already like 16 or something like that, decided to open her own bar. She was also working hard and teaching me, yeah, like study hard and get a job at a great company so you have a stable income and blah blah blah. And but I made a choice. I always, like, everybody makes choices when you like accept, when you apply for a job. It's a choice that you, okay, I want to work there and I hope they pay me this amount of money and I hope it's not too stressful. When you start to launch your own business, it's your own choice. It's like, you're like, okay, I need to figure out how to do this, and if I do it right, I will have more freedom and more money eventually. But everything is a choice. And with my computer skills, like a lot of people, yes, I mean, I'm capable of programming, yeah. So what? It's a skill I can make money with, yeah, but I can only make money with in either developing something that I can sell, or having somebody hire me to develop something they can then sell or use. But when it comes to the stuff that I'm currently doing, the business I'm currently building, all of that doesn't matter. It's like, if you know how to turn on your computer and you can use Google, like whatever, like you're stuck with something to, for example, I set up a new Facebook page for myself, and I created a group, and I know that within groups there's the possibility to create like group chats, but I didn't find the button. So what do? I go to Google, like how to enable chats within groups on Facebook, and I didn't find the result. So if I don't find it on Google, the next spot is like YouTube, and I enter more or less the same question, and there I found some outdated videos, and in the end I realized it only works once you have a certain amount of people within your group, yeah. But the point is, I didn't know it, and it was not like, oh my god, I don't know this, I cannot do this. I was like, okay, I don't know how to do this yet, but I can Google it, I can YouTube it, and then I can learn it, or I can figure out, okay, it simply isn't possible right now, but now I know the criteria, and now I know when I can check for it again. And that's all there is, like even if you have zero computer skills, it's like, for example, I would not be a good mechanic, yeah, like, while I can do the physical work, most of it, blah blah blah, I have no clue about cars. Yeah, I mean, I know how to drive them and I enjoy how to drive them and how to change a tire and stuff like that, or a battery. But if there would be something with the engine, transmission, or anything, it's like I have no clue. Yeah. But if I would want to learn, I wouldn't even need to, like, how to say, like, become an apprentice at some car dealership or stuff like that, or car garage. All I would need to do is really basically start reading on Google, start watching on YouTube, and I would learn. And so the difference between, like, people being stuck in jobs they hate and like breaking out from it. It's just like one decision to decide, okay, I'm gonna break out from it. Yeah, it's like really just one decision, and it's a like a mindset thing, you know. Like there's, I don't know if you read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad from Robert Kiyosaki. It's kind of like the the must read for actually every person on this planet. If you didn't, you should check it out. I will like provide the link below. And there he simply shows the two mindsets of like the average person under quotes. For example, like his real dad as a like yeah, teacher, and the way a business person thinks. For example, if you would want to have a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, most people would tend to say, yeah, I want the Lamborghini, I want a Ferrari, but it's too expensive. And there it would end. They would simply say like, okay, it's not possible for me because it's too expensive. While I, for myself, I'm not sure if I want the Lamborghini, honestly. Like probably like I wouldn't buy it in cash. I would, if at all, lease it, if it's like if the monthly cash flow supports it easily, or just rent it for a weekend. Yeah, because not want to, at the moment my mindset says it would be, if I had the money, it would be not like worth to give it away just to have a car that looks nice, and even though it may be really an amazing car. Anyway, but my mindset goes, okay, poo, I want the Lamborghini, but it's too expensive. It doesn't stop there, it goes on. What do I have to do to afford it? How can I afford it? And then my mind goes, okay, maybe I have a lot of stuff that I can sell, you know, like maybe it's like I have a bunch of, I mean, for a Lamborghini, you would really need a lot of stuff, yeah, but still, maybe I have a bunch of old computers, like old MacBooks, old iPhones, old monitors, old other stuff. Maybe, I don't know, like I have old designer clothing or watches or I don't know what, that I can sell to afford that car, even though maybe only for a weekend. Yeah, then I can ask myself if is it worth that to me and stuff like that. But that already goes further. The further ahead. The main point is like most people simply tell themselves they can't, and that's why they can't. It's not that they actually are not capable of. They make the decision that they're not capable of. It's like, for example, like so 3 days per week I'm working out with my personal trainer Abdul Salam, who's also a member of our inner circle, and the first 2 times was really like horrible because I haven't done any exercise in quite some time. So it was really like I felt like I'm gonna die, and after the exercise I needed to lay down and basically rest for some time to recover. But after that it became really like it's still challenging, it's like still hard, and whatever, like he says do 50 push-ups or something, and I'm in my mind I'm like, I cannot do 50 push-ups, but he forces me to. It's just a number, keep going, like one more, and I may not do them as fast as he can do them, but I do them. It may take me like forever, but the point is I don't give up. And because even though I in the beginning tell me, oh, it's too much, I cannot do 50 push-ups, because he has like the outside influence, like helping me and like pushing me and telling me it's possible, it's just a number, I finally can do it. And while there I need an external force, like somebody like a coach to like kick my ass. A lot of people would also benefit from having an external force, like keeping them going when it gets tough, in their journey to like become entrepreneurs. Yeah, because maybe some people are like, yeah, I would want to, but how do I start? And then I'm really wondering, because like most of the people I know actually would love to do something on their own. And then when I provide them with a, like, if you think about, if you open a hairdressing salon or something, you have to spend thousands of dollars to even get started, and you would have to quit your job because you would then work in your new hairdressing salon, and if it doesn't work, you're fucked, you're screwed. But if you like start some online business, yeah, you can keep your job. All it means, like, after your 40 hours for your regular job, which pays your bills, you'll have to sacrifice a little. You'll have to cut down on Netflix. You have to cut down maybe like 1 year without vacation or stuff like that. And you just, all you have to invest is time and little money. And so if I tell my friends then that, okay, there's this course, it only costs you $100, and I tell you, I promise you, it teaches you everything that you need, like from day 1 to day 30, you just have to sacrifice those 30 days or 5 weeks actually, yeah, Monday to Friday, so actually 25 days, and follow the instructions, simply do their homework. Everything is broken down in a way that people with zero IT skills can understand it. And after that, you will have the knowledge on how to sell everything on the internet, no matter what you want to sell. And it also provides you with information if you have no idea what to sell, how to find out what to sell, or which services you could promote where you would get nice commissions. And so I tell them that, and they still don't do it. And I don't understand, it's really confusing my mind, because if I'm unhappy with something, there's only like, I can either like change it, or if I cannot change it, I can accept it. There's everything else doesn't help. If I don't know, maybe I hate my apartment, it's too small, it's too big, I don't like the rooms, I don't like the color or something. So if I keep telling my friends, my new apartment, it's actually horrible, it was such a mispurchase, or I should have never moved in, but the lease is that long, I cannot move out before that, blah, 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 or it's too expensive, whatever, yeah. If I just keep complaining, nothing happens, or everything that happens is I just drag myself down with negative emotions. But if I decide I change it, I start looking for a new apartment, I hire a realtor to find a new apartment. For me, I like suddenly I can change it, and maybe for some reason I cannot change it because of like I don't have the money to pay the deposit on a new apartment or something. Well, then I simply have to accept that it is like this for now, or use it as motivation to keep me going, to like really like push me to the next limit, to figure out like, okay, how can I get that money for the deposit? What can I do? Can I maybe only on a couple of weekends work at a second job to make the couple $100 that I need for that? But most people simply like, that would really, it makes me sad. And there's not a lot of things that make me sad. It makes me really sad when I like see people who are like, everybody has the same capabilities, unless you're like physically impaired or really have like some mental issues. Each of you could run a million or billion-dollar online business, each one of you. And the reason why most people don't is because they tell themselves that they can't. It's not that they actually cannot do it, just because from their current point of knowledge they cannot. Well, it was the same for me. At some point I didn't know how to program. At some point I didn't know how to set up an online store. At some point I didn't know how taxes work for a company. At some point I didn't know this. And guess what I did? I like tried to figure it out. If I couldn't figure it out on Google or something, I like looked for professionals. Like I got a free first appointment with a lawyer. I got to talk about some questions. I got a free appointment with a accountant to get some information, and the accountant is happy to provide the information, because if I follow up and start my business, he will have, or she will have, a new client that pays her every month. Yeah, and so like nothing is impossible. Really, nothing is impossible, and it's like it really is like very, very challenging for me. Because for me, that's something that's really deep within my mindset. I already like, I breathe that shit. It's like, I really know everything is possible, no matter what I want to do. There are hiccups on the way, and there are like a few days where you feel like, shit, I'm stuck. Yeah. But when you set your mind to something, everything is possible. And then I think about, like, if you think about you probably won't remember, but if you think about while you've been a baby, when you were like really like, I don't know, like just born or a couple months old, actually a couple months old, and you probably saw your parents walking on two legs, and everybody was walking on two legs, but you simply couldn't. And at some point you tried to get up because you knew it is possible, because you see everybody else around you doing it, and also because maybe your parents hold you up on your hands so you're standing on your legs. So you kind of knew it's possible. And then something interesting happens, because then you try and you make one step and you fall down. Yeah, so you basically you failed. Yeah. And what do? Because everybody is so excited and cheering your one small success that you made this one step, you keep trying, and finally you learn to walk, and finally you learn to run. And the same is with like learning to speak. Yeah, you just babbled some baby language and try to imitate words, and at one point you say one word correctly. You have no idea what grammar means or anything of that, but you get one word right, and everybody's like, yeah, you did it. And because of that you continue going, and at some point you're able to speak and have conversations. And now when you take this further a little bit to like nowadays, yeah, So you would have the idea to start a business, and now instead of people cheering and telling you you can do it, everybody shows up like, oh, it's such a bad idea. Why is it a bad idea? Like it's better to take a risk, a leap of faith, and do something that you love and work hard in that than like grinding 40, 50, 60 hours for like average pay, and in the end, based on your hard work, somebody else enjoys the vacations. Like I don't see like why like trying to start your own business is a bad idea, especially if you can do it on the side, which only means you sacrifice some of your free time, so you cut down on like time wasting activities like watching movies, which like doesn't help you in any way, but just is like to get time pass by and feel entertained. And there, then you try it, and then you like hit a small hiccup. Like for us to today, when or yesterday to today, when we were launching the first Facebook advertisement, well, and what people don't throw cash at us, oh my god, yeah. And even my with my positive mindset, it gives me like a like it doesn't get me totally down, but it's a small negative influence that I like need to think about to get rid of it. But for Irina, for my partner in crime, so to say, yeah, for her, like today I needed to like talk to her for a couple of minutes and get her back on track and remind her that it's like, you keep trying, like you know something, but you don't have 50 years of experience, or 15 or 5, doesn't matter. But you know how to do it. Like the One Funnel Away challenge shows you how to do it, yeah. But obviously they show it step by step, and because we have some background knowledge already, we're a little bit ahead of the course, which also means we do some things the way we think we should do them, and then like 2 days later, when it's covered within the course, we're like, oh, we did it wrong, okay, or we did almost right, yeah, but not perfectly. And so I needed to talk to her and remind her, just because we launched some ads yesterday, it doesn't mean that we spent thousands of dollars. We spent, I think it was amazingly like $12 so far on those ads, so it's like not that much, even though the daily budget for it would be $100 for that one campaign. And we get one person to sign up with the email, but they didn't confirm it, blah, 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 whatever. So the point is I needed to get her back on track, yeah, so because people forget once they basically made their biggest 2 achievements, learning to walk and learning how to talk to other people, they get, people don't cheer you anymore. You say like I don't know, you want to try something, and oh, that sounds like a lot of work, oh, that's hard, I'm not sure you can do it, I'm not sure it's a good idea. And people are stupid enough to believe that shit, or to listen to it as long or so long that they start to believe it themselves. And it really it makes me sad, because I care about my friends, and when I'm able to make whatever, like thousands of dollars in a couple of weeks without actually working hard, or with working hard once, and then like I can sit back and only work a couple hours per day, or even if I have to work 40 hours, but I can do it on my MacBook, and I can do it here at home, I can do it at a nice pool, I can do it on the beach, yeah. And I know it's possible for every one of my friends. It just requires them to sacrifice some time. For some of them, they may be faster learners. It would require them to like sacrifice maybe 2 or 3 weeks to get the basics right. For others, it may be 2 or 3 months. But if I consider the alternative, I'm 32 years now, I would have to still work like at least, I don't know, 35 or 40 years, 40 hours per week for somebody else to be entitled to retire with a very small pension. And then considering that there is no guarantee that there will be a pension. There is like the possibilities that in the next couple of years the government makes a new decision, and so I have to work 4 years, 5 years longer, and so like that's the alternative. So I'd rather like live on that roller coaster where like, okay, it's good times and everything works well, and then something suddenly, because of things I do wrong, not because somebody else that I can blame, but because of my mistakes, I didn't foresee things, or I didn't plan them properly, whatever, everything comes crashing down, and I have to build it again and build it again. But there's always like my freedom, it's my decision, it's what I do, and I think everybody deserves that. And because I really care about my friends, and I care about other people as well to a certain degree, I don't know them, but I still would want to show most or a lot of people, or as many people as possible, how to build their online business, become successful. It really makes me sad. Yeah, it really makes me sad. Yeah, but I think that's enough for today's episode. Yeah, so like maybe think about, I'm gonna post the challenge link in the bottom below, and then ask yourself actively, where are you going right now? Like, are you looking ahead to work the next 30, 40, 50 years? Yeah. do you love your job that much? Like, is your company really that great? Or are you basically just an employee or slash slave who has to go there to make someone else rich? Yeah. Um, and would it be really so bad to like invest $100 and spend like the next 5 weeks being taught by people who build like businesses worth hundreds of millions of dollars um, on how to do it step by step? Yeah, like think about like for what else you end up spending money, like how fast $100 are gone. Like it's basically what, not even 20 coffees at Starbucks. So if you go there every business day, it's not even 1 month of your Starbucks coffee um, that separates you from like your true freedom, from doing what you love. And even if you don't know what you love to do at work, even if you end up doing some online business that it's like not your passion, you sell some stuff you don't really like feel that passionate about, yeah. But if it gives you the freedom that you like can spend more time with your family or travel and see the world, because all you need is internet and not in a fixed location, maybe it should be worth $100 and investing like 5 weeks of your time. Or maybe if that's too much effort, yeah, then maybe really accept the fact that you don't deserve any of it because you're lazy. It's not that you cannot do it, it's that you then make the decision to not do it. Yeah. But that said, that's already enough to today. I actually wanted to talk a little bit about other stuff. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Yeah, like make sure to get in touch with me on my social media and stuff. And if you're watching this on YouTube and not listen to the podcast version of it, leave your feedback in the comments below. I appreciate it. And then we'll hear and or see each other, yeah, probably tomorrow with the next episode. So have a great day and stay positive, guys. Bye bye.